You know, the last 3 times I covered this type, I ended it by throwing the video on the ground. I really should stop doing that because when you think about it, it gets all the editing software dirty. What? More importantly, as you may have guessed, today we're covering the ground type in the How Pokemon Sword and Shield Fix the Type series. If you don't know what this series is, either this is your first video here, in which go check out the playlist in the description, or you were thrown on the ground one too many times as a kid. Basically, we're recapping all the changes that were made in the new generation on top of recapping the original videos back from 2019. But at this point, I'm wasting time. Let's dig into the ways Pokemon Sword and Shield fix the ground type. What? I don't have a shovel. So those new Galar Pokemon, huh? I was walking through the Galar streets, and a man walks up to me and hands me the regional snake. They call it Sandaconda. Man, I'm not gonna let you poison me. I threw it on the ground. You must think I'm a joke. Just look at it. It's an Ekans with a scarf. Dude, pump that garbage in another man's face. At the Galar market with my so-called rival, he hands me his Pokedex. It's showing Unovian forms. Man, these aren't forms. These are just Galar Pokemon in costumes. I took it and threw it on the ground. What, you think I'm stupid? I'm not a part of your systems. Unova's not real! Duh! Some poser hands me a G-Max form at a raid. What you want me to do with this? Dynamax it? Full power to the ground! I threw the rest of the G-Maxes with it! Welcome to the real world, jackass! What? Nobody watched it when I made it the outro. Okay, so, funny story here. One time a couple of weeks ago, we went over the fighting type, and I may or may not have joked about how the fighting type got no new attacks in Generation 7/Sun and Moon. Well, it's not a joke. This is not a drill either, as the ground type got no new moves in Generation 8. It happened again. Can you believe it? I know things need to be smaller as the generation moves on, but come on. Really? This is the second generation in a row that a type didn't get any new moves other than the gimmick moves. Z-moves or G-Max moves. Such a shame. You know what that means, right? Can we please stop having so many new old Pokemon gaining a butt ton of new moves? It's getting ridiculous. Just look at this. The amount of rows I have to use for this is getting so long. Soon it'll span further than my monitor will let me see. That's not a good sign either. What? Oh yeah, the updates. So I guess, complaining aside, we've got some updates to cover from older Pokemon. Dugtrio gains 5 new moves. Somehow it can kick with high horsepower without feet. Although the Dugtrio gains 6 new moves, again, how does it kick with high horsepower? Steelix gains 8 new moves, showing how it could be related to dragons. Quagsire and its derpy self gets 3 new moves. Excadrill only gains high horsepower. Rhyperior needs to stop. 13 new moves, but we already covered that in the Rock-type video. Mamoswine nabbed 6 new moves. Body Press is actually a great pickup, because now you don't need to use Superpower. Wishcash grabbed 4 new moves. Not sure about these for its viability, though. Flygon with 8 new moves would have had me groveling and excited if I didn't already cover it in the Dragon-type video. Claydol. Stop. 12 moves, and you still suck! Even gaining Nasty Plot doesn't get you anywhere. Seismitoad. Somehow it can use Power Whip as one of its 2 new moves. Gastrodon gets 5 new moves. Hydro Pump is its best, but not sure how it will work in battle. Hippowdon with Body Press as one of its 7 new moves. It should really pack a punch. Stunfisk gets Electric Terrain now. Diggersby gets High Horsepower. And Mudsdale gets Body Press. Odd that so many new Pokemon who don't have horse-like features are getting high horsepower. I'll start nicknaming him John Elway. At least he brought good to the Denver Broncos. My predictions, on the other hand. Yeah, it's time for me to back over the predictions from the last video. One of these predictions is me covering how one-track minded the ground type is on the physical side. A type known for one style of battle is not as good with the other style of battle. The ground type also has this issue. Surprise, surprise. We all know the ground type does very well with its physical attacks, but did you also know it's a little bit underwhelming in regards to special attacks? But when you only have 3 new Pokemon, all of which aren't specially based, and no new attacks, it's hard to fix that. I was having that issue in the live stream back when the games came out. I could not find a specially based Rock/Steel type, especially not a ground type. It remains unfixed. Why does the ground type still have slow Pokemon? I complained about this before. Very surprised about was the fact that most of the ground types aren't even that fast. The fastest and highest tiered ground type doesn't even eclipse 100 base speed. In fact, it doesn't even eclipse 95. That Pokemon is Landorus Therian, who is an OU for a different reason, but it's definitely not how fast it is. And yet, we're introducing new, slower ground types. The 3 mentioned earlier in the video doesn't even eclipse 71 base speed. It's all fun and games in battle, but when it comes down to it, those fast ice types will run you right over. So, we got Mystical Fire, among other former signature moves, getting a better spread across multiple Pokemon. You know what else was a signature move? Shore Up. Well, that's mainly because this is the ground type video. Shore Up is a ground type move, and it's one of the many signature moves that were introduced when Sun and Moon released. And it's such a great move for the ground type. It's actually like a variant of Morning Sun and Moonlight, but for sandstorms. The problem that we run into here that it is in fact a signature move like I mentioned. Alas, instead of Shore Up being more spread out, that actually doesn't exist. Palossand doesn't even exist in the game, as Shore Up remained a signature move on a Pokemon that has no trace in the Generation 8 games. Fun! Looking at the fixed scoring chart, the ground type scored a flat 0. It's last place. I tried predicting to no avail. The type remains in dead last. Unfortunately. With just 2 missing type combinations left for the ground type, we have a good shot since both of the remaining combinations are really great ideas. Now that's something I'm saying beforehand, because as you can tell from the tone of my voice, neither of them were used. What remained, and still remains, are the ground/fairy type and the ground/fighting type. Those 2 type combinations would be insane, but now we get to wait another 3 years for it. Shame. And to make matters worse, we also have a lot of fan favorite ground types missing too. Pokemon such as Nidoqueen, Nidoking, Gliscor, Palossand, and of course, I can't talk about this and not mention Garchomp. At least Chomp is coming back in the DLC, but really, Galar is based off the UK, and Nidoking and Queen are missing. Well, Galar can add them back in the DLC because they really need a Queen. Don't worry, I'm not gonna throw the outro on the ground like I did the last 3 times. Ah, fuck! I wish my predictions were true in some way, but this generation decided to stomp it flat. We got nowhere, so for that, I sadly have to say that we're at the end of the video. We've been thrown to the bottom, and to climb our way back to the top, to see more from this series or anything else, be sure to hit the subscribe button to join the squad today. With that, I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you back at the top later on, because that is how we do what. Ah, fuck.